George Orwell once famously said that one of the most effective ways to destroy people is by obliterating and denying their own understanding of their history. And throughout our history, all of our biggest enemies all attempted to do the same thing, which was not just colonize our identities in our homeland, but to erase our identities and our connection to our homeland of Israel. So, for example, the Romans, when they colonized our land and they renamed our land to Palestine after our former enemies from Greece, they did this in order to disconnect us from our homeland as much as possible. So today, when we hear this narrative that we're these white colonizers from Europe, it's pushed by those who are against Jewish sovereignty in the Jewish ancient homeland. And so in order to disconnect us from our homeland as much as possible, they try to portray us as these foreigners to the land. But the thing is, in pushing this narrative, they are attempting to erase our stories as Mizrahi Jews. But I just want to make it clear, whether Mizrahi, Sephardi, Ashkenazi, all Jews genetically, historically, anthropologically descend from the Middle East. And we always came in all different colors. And just because, some of us had this forced and displaced experience in Europe, we are neither from Europe, nor were we ever treated as being white throughout history. I mean, over 6 million of us were exterminated for not being white. Now all of a sudden we're white. And it's like, even if you ask white supremacists today who their number one enemies are, they will usually tell you that it's the Jews. So to answer the second part of the question in terms of the Western progressive left, it's really it's really the irony of Berkeley Brad, who lives on colonized land, telling Jews who are indigenous to the land of Israel to get out of the Jewish native homeland, all while they wear Amazon purchased keffiyehs, which was popularized, as Tal was saying, by Yasser Arafat, who was not a Palestinian and who was a terrorist, while they wave the flag designed by British colonizer Mark Sykes, which represents the Pan-Arabism colors, and which only became adopted as the Palestinian flag about 20 years after Israel's reestablishment, all while they scream to, Free Palestine, which was named by the white colonizing Romans as an act of colonization against the Jews. And, and then chanting the same hateful and genocidal slogans as these terror regimes do in this region. It's like the irony just doesn't end. We all originate from the land. We've been inhabiting the same land, speaking the same language, and carrying the same story and history as we did 3,000 years ago. We are not colonizers in our own homeland.